along with it. However, I understand what they have to do for TV, and they certainly don't want to kill some characters off that are in there. But I recommend picking up the comic book by Robert Kirkman, who also produces the Walking Dead TV show. I'm a big fan of his in general. I also like his other comic book, Invincible. Another big thing.
And both of those, they are available electronically too, which I know that we're both big fans of reading comics and graphic novels on our electronic devices. So if you're interested in that and you haven't done it, check it out. There's a lot of really good stuff out there.
All right. Next up is a movie called Hellbenders, another one that's probably not on anybody's radar. The storyline is there are demons so terrible that no mortal man of God could successfully drive them back to hell. The only other option is for the exorcist himself to invite possession and then commit suicide.
That's tough.
That seems like a good plan.
Yeah, that's tough.
Dragging along the demon to damnation. So the Augustine Interfaith Order of Hellbound Saints, or Hellbenders, was formed. A group of elite, highly trained exorcists, really. They live in how long did they get trained to kill themselves? They live in constant state of debauchery.
Oh, I thought that was exorcisists, like they were just exercising a lot.
They're in great shape. So they will be ready to go to hell at any moment. I love the storyline, actually. When an infernal Norse demon called Black Surtur escapes into New York City intent on cracking open the gates of hell, the Hellbenders must use every ounce of their debauchery to battle the demon and save the planet from eternal damnation. Directed by J.T. Petty, this is also on video on demand and limited theaters, starring Clifton Collins and Clancy Brown. I like me some Clancy Brown.
And Dan Fogler as well. Didn't he write American Pie? Song? I'm sorry, that was not him.
I enjoy his coffee, Fogler's coffee.
Yeah. Fogler's Crystals.
Yes, it's Fogler's. Sounds like one of our sponsors. Actually. It's rated R for bloody violence. I hope so. Some disturbing images, I would think. Pervasive language. I guess, okay. And sexual content and drug use. Well, that's all that debauchery they're talking about, of course.
Yeah, and speaking of drug use, I must have used the wrong drug before I made the Dan Fogler American Pie reference. That's obviously Don McLean and Dan Fogelberg, who I was thinking.
That's fine.
Let's just go ahead and get that out of the way for corrections for next week.
This movie clocks in about 1 hour and 25 minutes, so
Perfect.
You're not going to waste a whole lot of time watching this movie.
Perfect.
It sounds asinine. It kind of reminds me of the storyline for Constantine a little bit. Killing yourself, going to hell, dragging people down with you or out of it or whatever they do.
And also the RIPD.
Right, which I haven't seen.
No, but I heard it wasn't very good, but it does have Jeff Bridges in it.
Yeah, which I hate to hear that. It's not very good. And it also has Ryan Reynolds, who seems to be just box office poison.
Yeah, anymore. I like Ryan Reynolds. I was just talking to somebody about this the other day, man. I like Ryan Reynolds, but God, some of these movies he's been in recently are just bad.
Right.
Green Lantern, ugh.
Yeah, that was bad. That was real bad. And even his role in the Wolverine movie, I mean...
he wasn't used properly in that, so...
No. I mean, maybe it's not his fault, but maybe he needs to look at the script a little more and kind of really think about these roles. I hate to see this guy not be cast anymore because I think he's a nerd's nerd. He definitely knows the story of most of these things. I did enjoy him in Blade 3. I thought
he was good in that Blade Trinity. Yeah,
and he had a great beard. Maybe he should go back to the beard. Get a free shirt.
That might be part of the problem, yeah.
Get a free shirt, get a beard, and, have a little more success.
Yeah, and plus he got really ripped. I mean, he's been ripped in a few movies now. Did you see the movie Safe House? He was very good in that.
I did not see that.
That's actually worth seeing. Him and Denzel Washington. He holds his own next to Denzel Washington. Who's got
wait! I did see that. That's eventually in Denzel. Doesn't he double cross him or something like that? Or
Denzel's he's the guy who comes to the safe house on his. He's actually being searched for by the CIA.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Oh no! He doesn't double cross him. He's actually saves him. I did see that movie. It just it just goes to show how much it stuck.
Well, I think what you're getting mixed up on is that Denzel Washington, you're not really sure whether he's a good guy or a bad guy.
Okay,
he's kind of a bad guy as they report it to Ryan Reynolds, but then he has to trust him. And
I think a little bit of his box office poison got into my system and kind of scrambled my brain a little bit on that.
Well, it happens.
Next up, escape plan.
The most secure prison ever built. No one breaks out alone. One of the world's foremost authorities on structural security agrees to take on one last job, breaking out of an ultra-secret high-tech facility. Ray Breslin, played by our favorite, Sylvester Stallone, the world's foremost authority on structural security.
Stallone. I believe it's Stallone. Stallone.
But Stallone?
Yeah,
is he in relation to Rocco Stallone?
Yeah, I believe it's his hair. Well, it's his brother, and he's a hairstylist, which, of course, the movie Rocky was based on.
Well, exactly. Loosely based. We've gone through this.
Yes,
it's well documented.
Episode 8/2, I believe. I don't know.
Right. Again, it might actually had a letter in there. It might have been like 8/2B.
Yeah, actually, just go to the website. We'll post the formula and or the grid, and you'll be able to find it.
A grid might be helpful. Yeah, that's a good idea. Well, Ray Breslin, played by Stallone, he agrees to take on the job of breaking out of this high-tech facility called The Tomb. But when he's wrongly imprisoned, he must recruit fellow inmate Emil Rottmeyer, played by Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Stay cool.
To help devise a daring, nearly impossible escape plan.
Get to the chopper.
From the most protected and fortified prison ever built. It's directed by Michael Hafstrom. What a cast. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone, Vincent D'Onofrio, Jim Caviezel, Jesus Christ himself is in this movie. Sam Neill.
Now, just to be clear, it's not Jim Caviezel and Jesus Christ.
No, I'm sorry. Jim Caviezel, comma, Jesus Christ himself.
Yeah. I don't want to portray the fact that Jesus himself is playing a character in this movie. It's a guy that plays Jesus.
Right, but people get confused by that stuff. It's fine. We should just make sure. It is JC, after all. Sam Neill, also a star in this movie. Vinnie Jones, we all know and love. This was rated R for violence and language throughout. And I'm not sure how long it is, but I have a feeling
I hope it's got language throughout. And it's not like a silent film, is it?
I don't know, man. In a Stallone movie, it might be better as a silent film.
Oh, man. Stallone/Schwarzenegger. I mean, we've been waiting years for this, right? I mean,
well, we've been waiting since Expendables 2.
Oh, yeah, well.
and before that, we were waiting since Expendables 1.
Well, I've been waiting for this particular... I meant, like, them in a prison together.
Oh, okay. Was Schwarzenegger, was he in Lockout?
Lockout. Now, what's that?
Or no, I'm sorry, not Lockout, Lock Up. Stallone's previous Stallone prison movie.
Is this a sequel?
It might be a sequel. I have to check on that.
Since he's going into a place called The Tomb, is this technically Tomb Raider?
That's true. It's a new take on Tomb Raider. And also, I think it's related some way to Terminator. I'm not sure exactly how.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he's in it.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I already got into that,
He's
yeah.
in it. Yeah.
Shows a lot of passion.
So, out of what we reviewed this weekend, what do you think the best bet is?
I'm going to go with Escape Plan.
I have to second guess us after Machete. I'm going to say probably see anything other than what we recommend at this point until we get back on track. I'm actually going to say 12 Years a Slave. But of course, it's all in the mood that you're in. Avoid Machete. I would say there's still other great movies out there. Rush is still out there. I'm not going to recommend Runner because I have not heard good things about that. That was one that we initially wanted to see.
It's one that I wanted to see, yeah.
But I've heard some negative things come out of that.
Really? Well, I think Carrie would be one that, in all seriousness, Carrie would be one that could be a good choice this weekend, but you might want to time that towards Halloween. Though I'm sure they would appreciate it if you saw it the first week.
I think the date movie is Carrie.
Yeah, that'll be a good date movie. Yeah. Bring the girl with you, let her, grab a hold of you when she gets scared, that sort of thing. And if you get scared, you can grab a hold of her, whatever.
Right. And just make sure she doesn't have any kind of extra powers and gets upset with you, because this will show you the ramifications of that, I believe.
Yeah, it's actually sort of a documentary.
In a way. So let's get to our closing thoughts. What do we? I don't know why I say closing thoughts. We pretty much say our thoughts. Well, my takeaway from this is don't see Machete.
Yeah. Now this is the part of the podcast where we attempt to end it, so that you could expect 8 to 9 minutes of banter
and just rambling.
Yeah,
just the rambling of guys that just simply do not know how to end this.
Yeah, I would like to take this opportunity to do a reenactment of Friday's podcast.
Okay, yeah.
Where no, actually, I don't want to do that at all.
The Thing, and the other thing, and two. The Thing again,
and the other thing. Both things.
Yeah, we probably shouldn't get into that again.
But I would like to, in all seriousness, take this opportunity to say how much more fun it was to do this one.
Oh yeah, it was a lot more fun. So we're going to end this, but make sure you come back on Wednesday where you'll hear our interview with Tony Acree.
Yes.
And the book The Hand of God, which we're going to recommend as being a must-read. So this is going to be this episode of the Don't Tell Me My Business Media Podcast. We're going to see you next week around the same time, right?
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, maybe.
Goodbye, everybody out there in podcast land.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
This has been a Don't Tell Me My Business Media production.